horizontal to create an infinity sign. Now when we do our hip rotation, it's not only going to be that your hips are a little bit back in a neutral position and you're rotating in the back. What you're going to try to think about is creating a forward action underneath, around, underneath, around. So you're creating your number 8 not by having your hips in the back only, switching them from side to side, but creating a beautiful action of number 8. As we combine now action of number 8 and pendulum, when your hip goes forward, you're not just going to leave it forward, you're going to keep it going up. So you're bringing your hip higher and higher, thus creating a longer leg illusion. Then it goes back around, forward, up, back around, forward, up, back around. Now I'm sure you have learned something similar or maybe the exact same thing before. How can we make that body action more innovative, better, more flexible? When we use the hips, we're going to combine them with the rotation of your sides, your rib cage. So as you do just the hips, it's a great action, but it's much smaller than if you do exact same thing with the rotation of your ribs. You're creating much more flexible and much softer action. Now you have to keep in mind that when you do this, this is very important, not to allow your shoulders to rotate with your rib cage, making it look very one-dimensional. So as you do that, you're going to try to have a counter rotation or a twist between your shoulder blades and your shoulders and your rib cage with your hips. So you're creating a counter action. And the more you continue taking it around, you have to press down your shoulder blade rather than lifting it, thus releasing this back. So we're going to use a hip rotation and continue pressing down on the shoulder blade. You can feel this action if you take your arm around and place your hand on your own shoulder blade. So if your shoulder blade is up, you're in the wrong position. If your shoulder blade is pushing down, thus connecting your shoulder blade with your rib cage, it's great. So recuperate, we have pendulum, up, up. We have a number 8 that goes forward and back, and we have same action with your rib cage in opposition to your shoulder blades. Now that you have a general idea of what body action is and how to use it, we would like to take you further by explaining to you how you can connect body action and leg. For this, I would like to invite my partner Slavic to be an associate for me in this explanation. Great. Please stand with your feet apart. Now, when he just stands here, I would like you to create a cross in your mind, an illustrious cross between the hips and the knee, and the opposite hip and opposite knee. So whenever he's going to move, he's not going to be moving independently. He's going to always keep in mind that there is an invisible elastic connecting his right hip with his left knee and his left hip with his right knee. So now we're going to create a pendulum on the right. Rotation around into a pendulum. Now please notice that his left hip is pointing down and his right hip is quite high, creating a longer leg. So he's in a perfect pendulum position coming out of the rotation. Now before he does the next step, as he's going to try to continue and bring the leg in, he's going to keep in mind that his knee on the left side and his right hip are connected. So let's try that again. So instead of just doing without and keeping, hold on, can I have your leg there? Keeping your hip continue and leg stay there, or closing your leg independently, he's going to connect his knee and his hip and bring it in together. As if an invisible elastic is being pulled from the hip by bringing the knee in. Now we're going to do just step together to the side. And same thing, he's going to bring in the right leg. We're going to start pulling on the invisible elastic, and as he turns the hip, the knee comes in and he brings the leg in. So body action and legs, they are not independent. We never just move the body from side to side and let the legs come there on their own. It's all connected. It's going to happen same thing as he moves forward. If you please take a step forward. Before he can bring his right foot forward, he cannot just do that from his knee on. It's independent and it doesn't look very smooth. For that, he's going to continue his hip rotation as much as he can allow using his rib cage. But notice that his right shoulder is not going back as well and not going up. It's going down and forward, thus creating a counter action in his rib cage and upper body. His right hip is very much turned out and it's still high, pendulum up in the back. Now he's going to release this pendulum, allowing the hip to come forward onto the left foot. Before his foot's going to start moving from the back to forward, he's going to rotate his left hip around. And by doing that, bringing in the leg with the connection. Now, before he's going to continue even further, he's going to allow that hip to come a little bit more back, releasing the leg. Great. Great balance. Now, as he gets onto the foot, he has a pendulum on his left high hip. Before we do anything else, he's going to release this pendulum, arrive forward on a high hip, not dropped hip. So if you can demonstrate the dropped hip on the right, this is a dropped hip without a pendulum, on a high hip. Now before the leg comes in, I'm going to try to rotate the hip, which will allow the leg to come as a result. So, thank you very much. As you may notice, hip action, rotation, and leg action is all combined. It's one big subject. And I can go much further in depth by explaining what comes first and how we rotate. But so far, you can use this much information to make your routine that you know by now by heart much more flexible and softer.
After Karina's explanation about body action and leg action combination, I would like to continue and go more deep and explain body action, leg action, and movement, and how we can combine these three subjects. And I would like to get into my preparation position one more time. And I would like to first to do my body action. And first I will start with pendulum and leg action same time. But before leg action, I would like, because right now my body weight on a split position and my hip quite neutral. Now I would like to make pendulum action, but without movement in the spine. So what's gonna happen? I bring my hip into the pendulum and my spine and my body is standing still where it was before. So I become back weighted and my posture is broken. And because of that, I will lose speed, rhythm, musicality. So I would like to come back and point out for you how important when we make a pendulum action, I would like to bring my spine and press into my hip. I will move my spine into the hip. So my hip and my body standing standing together on top of each other. Yes? Now from this movement, now we'll continue into rotation. So first half, I will do rotation and bring my leg into neutral position. So right now, my leg into neutral position and my hip neutral position. Now I'm gonna continue next one. I'm gonna continue rotate my hip and move my leg forward, but again, without movement in my spine. So I'm rotate my hip and bring my leg forward and my spine very far away behind. And as you remember, when we spoke about body weight transferring, we spoke about three positions in the body, A, B, C. And you remember in Cha-Cha we said, because of the speed in the music, we first two slow step, 2, 3, we have to use B and C position. So we have to arrive much closer and much quicker to the center of the foot on a step, on our next step. So one more time, I'm rotate, bring my leg to neutral position. Now I use quite quick rotation in my hip and leg action, very sharp and very quick, which is very character for the Cha-Cha. And I will move my spine same time when I rotate my hip. So I rotate my hip and move spine together, hip, spine. And rotation, move spine, and leg very quick and arrive. So right now, my hip already standing on a masculine position on top of my standing leg, on the center of the foot. Now I will continue again with my pendulum, and my spine will continue movement forward into my hip one more time.